We are going to talk about building a career, having the human interpersonal skills that will give you some success in the workplace with Renata Schwario, who is the founder and CEO of MaxMe. They have an exhibition in that direction, a display. We're going to discover a little bit more about yourself. Renata knows what actually works in the workplace, and you are back as a returning champion. Presented yesterday. You had some super fans right there by the side of the stage, Renata.
I had a group and we had a nice debrief afterwards. They wanted to know everything about personal brands.
If you are interested in personal branding, success in the workplace, developing your interpersonal human skills, Renata is the woman for you. And she's taking the stage right now as she looks for her clicker.
I am completely lost without a clicker.
Everybody freeze. Somebody's stolen the clicker. Relax.
Where's the clicker?
Remain calm.
Thank
Everything's
you.
under control.
I have the clicker.
Thank God. All right. Because it comes out of my wages. Over to you, Renata.
Thank you so much, Brett. And welcome. Thank you so much. We're going to change tack at this fairly technical, skill-oriented conference, which is so important as we start to thinking about what I want to do, where I want to work, where my job's going to be. It's really important to go and visit all of these amazing stands. But really importantly, I really want to stress the need to start thinking about your human skills, your soft skills, as they're sometimes known, but no one likes to be soft, so we're changing the name of that. They're now known as human skills. And my company, MaxMe, we focus on upskilling young people ready for the workplace. And we really focus on this area of human skills. Okay, today though, we're going to focus on brand, personal brand. Most people don't spend much time thinking about this. So we like to start with just talking about brands in general. And the question that I always ask is, what keeps people coming back to the brands that they love? When we ask this question, we often get the following answers. The things that keep people coming back to brand are the reliability of that brand, the trustworthiness of that brand, how affordable it is for them, the quality that they get, how necessary the brand is for them every day, how it makes them feel, and also having the brand makes them feel like they're more than without it. So personal brand is no different. When we think about the brands that we love and what keeps us coming back, what's really important to remember is a consumer will keep coming back to a brand that they love when that brand gives them all of those things. And importantly, they will keep buying the brand and the brand won't be going out of business. Same thing with personal brand. You want people to keep buying you, keep coming back to you and keep buying brand you. Now, a brand often works for someone when they're not in the room. And I say this to young people all the time. Why do I need to worry about my brand? Why should I spend the time building it? Well, often because people are making decisions about you outside of you being in the room. And so really importantly, we need to think about how we are building our brand, what people are saying about us, how we are coming across to people, because we want them maximizing what they're thinking about us and what they're saying about us when we're not in the room. That's the thing that's going to get you a job. That's the thing that's going to keep you in a job, very, very importantly. So, really importantly, the first thing I always start out by saying, and I was an employer for 30 years, I'm still an employer when I'm running MaxMe, the things that employers are looking for, apart from your technical skills, are the following things. They're looking for very strong attitude, a great right attitude at work, a strong and dependable work ethic, and very much around participation. I'm ready to participate. I'm ready to do the work that's required of me. And also that I'm professional, a level of professionalism as well. They're also looking for focus. Now, the average attention span, unfortunately, of most young people these days is shortening. But the work that we're having them to doing in the workplace is getting more and more complex, and it means they need a longer attention span. So the very thing we need them to do at a time when their attention spans are shortening is getting in the way of their impact. And finally, confidence, communication, teamwork, and problem-solving skills. These are the skills that are critical for success, but they're not the skills that are taught. So the question that I get next is, how do I build my brand? What can I do? How can I start to practically build this brand that's so important to my success? Well, the first thing that you start with is your mindset. What is my mindset towards myself? What is my mindset towards the work I have to do? And first of all, do I have a fixed mindset or do I have a growth mindset? A fixed mindset, of course, is I'm scared to do new things. I don't think I've got much to learn. And really importantly, when things get hard, I tend to give up. I'm really fixed in my approach. And sometimes I don't believe that there's nothing much to learn here. I don't have much to learn here. A growth mindset, of course, is opposite to that. When you feel like every encounter, even if it's hard, you've got something to learn from. You want to learn. You want to take risks. You actually want to develop yourself in this area that you don't know much about. That's the first place to start a growth mindset. The next thing to think about is, how do I come across as my whole self? And I say this to people all the time. If you're pretending to be someone that you're not, very quickly you're going to be found out. And why is that? Because people are going to think, oh, well, you've said this about yourself in the interview, in my conversations with you, but this is not the way I'm experiencing you. So in effect, you're losing your trustworthiness because you're not being your whole self. You're pretending. So when you're building a really strong brand, it's really important to be your whole self. Increase your levels of positive energy. Energy really gives other people more energy. So when you are thinking about building your brand, think about the energy that you're bringing to every situation. And what curiosity are you bringing to the learning that you're doing at work? Particularly when you start in your career, nobody's expecting you to know all the answers. What they're expecting from you is to have a curious mindset, and when you're ready for problem solving and critical thinking. The next thing is, be really open to feedback. People are scared to ask other people what they think of them because they're scared of being judged. But actually, when you're building your brand, the way you really want to find out about who you are, what's working, what's not working, is to find people you trust and ask them for feedback. That will help you to get all sides, a vision on all sides of yourself, especially in the blind spot that most people have, and you'll be able to build your brand through other people's views as well. Now, really importantly, your brand lives through the things that you do, your behaviours, your choices at work. So a couple of workplace do's and don'ts. First of all, be really, really respectful and courteous. A lot of people have really forgotten how to be mannered. Just basic manners, respect, and courtesy. I know that sounds really boring. I get eye rolls normally here, but courtesy and respect wins a lot of people at work, particularly when you're working with older generations who are used to doing things in a certain way. That's the reality, and you've got to lift and meet them where they are as well. Really importantly, be honest and authentic. Make sure that you're friendly, asking great questions, but when you are outside of your comfort zone and you don't know the answers, don't pretend like you do. Be courteous, but also ask questions, and ask it in a really respectful way as well. Don't ask in a way that's sort of making the other person feel like, oh, gosh, you're so old-fashioned. What do you know? You're not modern enough. Really importantly, when you don't know the answer to something, ask the question, but make sure you're doing it in a respectful and courteous way. Now, the don'ts are my favourite place to go. Don't be a bully and don't harass people. Really importantly, when you're building your brand, you don't want to become known as someone who actually isn't a very nice person to work with or get along with. So really importantly, don't bully. Your teachers, your schools are teaching you all of these things. Pay attention. And very importantly, make sure that you're not gossiping. You're talking behind people's backs. You become known as someone who's not trustworthy if these are the things that you do. Make sure you're not angry at work, you're not frustrated, you don't raise your voice. All of those things, these are very important when you're working with other people. These workplace don'ts are going to be really important for your success. And my favorite topic is your digital footprint. Make sure that you're thinking about internet usage, what you're saying online, what is your brand saying about you online when you're not in the room, as we spoke about before. And make sure that you are saying things that are respectful and courteous, because when people go to make a decision on whether they're going to give you an interview, recruiters, when we asked or when the research was done, 90% of recruiters said that they will regularly go and check your brand online and decide whether they're going to give you an interview based on that. So make sure that you're very careful, because there's mostly people in this room are spending a lot of time online. Make sure that your online presence has got the personal brand that you want to be known for, because people are going to go and look you up there. And make sure that your reputation, which is your biggest asset, is being protected in everything that you do and the choices that you're making. So really importantly, don't be an oversharer. People don't need to know everything about you. They don't need to know the things that are intimate, because that's really not going to make you look very good online, and your reputation is going to suffer as a result. Make sure that you're positive, that you're energetic, passionate, and you're saying the things that are aligned to what you want people to know you for. Okay, well, any questions from anyone around personal brand and the importance of it?
I get that on social media there are things we shouldn't do. Are there things that we should do on social media that you think recruiters might find appealing?
Definitely, Brett. And in particular, think about the industry that you want to go into, and make sure that you've got an online presence and be a thought leader in that area. So if I want to go and work in construction, make sure that when I'm appearing online, I'm saying all of the really interesting things. I'm doing research, I'm sharing my knowledge, and I'm really speaking very positively about the industry. And if I do think that there are things that are wrong or could be better, make sure that you're saying those things, but in a respectful, open, learning, curious kind of way. Because you become known as someone who's actually caring about other people, and you're wanting to drive a change and have that kind of positive environment to work in yourself.
And in a world where the sort of skills that you're talking about aren't as well developed as they should be, what does it take to stand out? A lot or a little?
Well, I would say the smallest amount. You obviously, if other people are not doing it, which they're not at the moment, the smallest thing will help you to stand out. And I would always say self-awareness, courtesy and respect goes a long way, anywhere.
Now, self-awareness sounds great. I'm self-obsessed. Is that the same thing? We'll get to that at another time. But how does one go about developing self-awareness? I mean, it's not like maths or science.
No, that's very true. And look, to become more self-aware, you really got to start with what are your strengths and what are your derailers. The place that we always start with people, and you know, the statistics are that 80% of people think they're self-aware but are not. So really this whole pursuit of understanding what am I good at, and that's where we always start. Don't spend your time on what you're not good at.
Yeah.
I mean, know about it. Make sure it's not getting in the way. But start with what you're great at and make sure you know that so you can do a lot more of it.
Build on what you're good at.
100%.
And what you're passionate about. Where do we find you in this building today?
So we're in number 10 and number 13. We're running workshops all day around little, small, 10-minute personal branding workshops. And we'd love to talk to everyone around this topic, which is so important, but undervalued.
Renata, thank you so much. 10-minute personal branding workshop. That is not an offer you get every day. So thank you, and thank all your team at Maxme.
Thank
much
you.
Appreciated.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Renata.
very much.
Thank you very much. Hurrah! All right. We've got a panel discussion on this stage in about 5 minutes from now, talking about all sorts of careers, mainly around construction. We've got a returning champion.